Hey, there we are. Hello guys, it is Thursday. It might throw a few people because we don't usually do a Thursday stream, but how could I not with this incredible panel? So before I jump over to the chat, let me say hello to the man himself as HeelvsBabyface. How you doing?
Hello. It sounded like you said this is a thirsty stream.
But could be. I'm not going to judge.
I think it is, right?
I think you said all that needed to be said.
We determined that in the back there, I think, right?
Yeah.
We have got Steve, ProphetOfTheDragon. How are you doing?
Steve.
Shutting up. Hi.
Hey.
Too much hair, apparently. I'll be back in a minute.
True story. And we've got Man of Manetheren. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm living the dream. How about yourself, Purple?
Doing well. Very happy to have such a fantastic panel and to actually be talking about a good show for once. What did you boys think? I know you've all been watching Cobra Kai over the past few seasons.
Great.
Steve, you go first. You've got all the fucking hair.
Oh, don't mind if I do, sir. You got all the beard. Well, no, actually, Nathan. Oh, shoot, man. I just walked myself. Okay. I love Cobra Kai Season 5. It was great.
It's meant to be groomed.
Yeah, I'm digging myself a real big ditch here. So I'm just going to Cobra Kai Season 5. Thumbs up. I loved it. But, man, I'll just kick myself out here.
You know what? I should line you three up because it's like the 3 stages. We've got Steve, and then moves on to us, and then it moves on to
Don't
Nathan.
do that, please. Like, please don't do that.
You make it sound like cancer. Thanks.
I was just thinking 3 different stages of masculinity, but hey, if you want to go there, that's fine.
Just saying, stage 3. That's all.
You're not helping, Purple. No. I'm in trouble.
I'm glad you liked it, Steve. What about you, Nathan? What did you think of season 5 before we really get into it and start talking?
It ranks up there with the best of the seasons so far in my book. It was rock solid.
It was a good season. I know as you were tweeting about it, because it's one of the few positive tweets I've seen you do recently.
Well, when it comes to media, anyway, yeah.
Exactly.
I did enjoy season 5 a lot. A couple of things, a little bit wibbly wobbly in a couple of places, but that didn't in any way detract from the enjoyment of the show. So, I think they were trying a couple of things this season, and some of them hit, and I wouldn't say some of them missed per se. I would just say that they tried a couple of things, but it was really enjoyable, and it's very rare that I actually genuinely want to get to the next episode of a show. I would say, though, I would so much prefer if this was a weekly installment.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it's that kind of good that I wanted to digest the episodes. So I wanted to have an episode and then be able to kind of like go through that episode and sort of really kind of like have a play with it then come back the next week and have another episode. And it did kind of feel this season like I want to obviously go to the next episode and watch it because I want to see what happens. But at the same time, I'm like, I want to
do the break just to absorb
I just
what
I just want to step back as well to just let it all wash over me and sink in and shit.
Yeah, and we've had this debate in the past as well, and Hail to the channel, say hi in just a couple of moments, but we've had this talk, is it better to drop a season all in one? Is it better to release it weekly? I think it's better to release a show weekly. You get maximum from it.
Well, I mean, anticipation, especially, I mean, now that we've had a few come out that have been decent, I mean, House of the Dragon, at least for me, the anticipation in the next episode has been great. So I think that's a very, very good point. Anticipation in the next episode just builds a lot of excitement, and then just, it gives you something to look forward to. Just binging it, like there were a few. I went from I think it was episode 9 to 10. I didn't even realize I moved episodes. It just flowed right into it. It's just like, oh hey, I'm done. I didn't even realize it. What happened?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just quickly, we've got a couple of super stickers that we've come in. We've got from Salty Texas C, thank you so very much. And we've got from Magitech Mags, thank you, sweetheart. And they send us a couple of hot dogs. So I think that one's for you, Anne. So thank you guys. Really appreciate that. Hot dog.
Got it.
I think probably what the best thing to do is, yes, and before we say, guys, if you have not seen season 5, this is going to be spoiler filled. Said to the panel, guys, just talk about whatever you like. So this is the warning, just in case anyone thinks, oh my god, you guys spoiled it for us. Yes, we are talking about everything that went on. So it pretty much picks up right where season 4 ended. Obviously, we've got Miguel who bailed on the end tournament, and he decided he wanted to go to Mexico to find his father, and that's where the first episode picks up. And for me, this was one of the weaker parts of the season, because I really wanted more about Miguel's past. They wrapped it up way too quickly in that first episode.
Yeah, it was fast. It would have been nice to delve into it a little bit more. I like the Robbie Johnny dynamic, but I wish it just sort of stretched out a little bit further, got a little bit more, because we still don't really know what's Miguel's father's a bad dude, but we don't really know exactly why and what happened with his mom. So it would have been nice to get a little bit more of that, but Robbie and Johnny was great.
The tension lift off of that was so abrupt, it kind of jarred the story a little bit. I mean, thankfully they got back into the rest of everything, which was great. I thought the biggest benefit that they had for the first half of the season was that they skipped out on the high school stuff for the most part and developed the older characters a little bit more, and their key relationships better.
No, I was actually a little disappointed. I thought that Miguel's father was going to come back later in the season, so that's why I thought they wrapped it up quick, because I just expected Miguel's father to think, this is a little bit odd with this lad, so he does a little bit delving himself and discovers that he is his son. So I thought there was going to be that. So I was quite shocked. I think it got to like episode 8. I was like, oh shit, Miguel's father.
Yeah.
Where the hell did he, And I was not frustrated, but because it did allow for some character development of other players. But I was just a little disappointed in the fact that Miguel and Robbie and everyone just kind of had their stuff done in the first 3 episodes or so. Yes. And so they kind of, and even Tori to a degree, they kind of had more of a sideline this season. And Sam came more into the equation, which I was okay with. And I wasn't disappointed with the characters that they pushed to the forefront this season. But, I really like Miguel. I really like Miguel as a character, and I've really liked his story. And I still would like it to be more Miguel and Johnny centric. Yes. But
yes, that's where it's at its best. Miguel and Johnny doing whatever. And I think it's a good point. If Miguel's father comes back in the picture, that's another huge conflict for Johnny to have to deal with. So that could have been really interesting. So
Yes, and do we know if we're getting a season 6? I know as of now it hasn't technically been announced, but I can't imagine that it won't be. As far as I can tell, this season's done incredibly well. It's in the top 10, and it's a #1 spot for a lot of countries. So if we do get a season 6, I imagine that will be the final season, but there is a lot of loose ends to tie up. But with the ending that we got, if we don't get a season 6, it still was, I guess, a satisfying ending, you guys think?
You got Kreese on the loose. Still some question marks about Miguel's father, as said, so that could be something to go to. And then I guess they were sort of trying to build a relationship between the female sensei and Kreese in that one flashback that sort of showed up and then disappeared. That was another thing that frustrated me. It was like we were getting some chosen stuff and then nothing. So I think there's still some stuff to build off of, just depending how they do it with just those 3 things.
Agreed. And since you brought up Chosen, what a fantastic character. I mean, obviously I love the principal cast, but he was probably my favorite character that they introduced and actually gave a big role to in this season. What an amazing actor.
I'm surprised at how much. Sorry, go on.
Oh, the Chosen was him and Johnny were the stars of the show for me, and Terry Silver was remarkable considering how. In the 3rd movie, I was not a fan of his character. He was overacted and all this stuff, and it's changed in the show. But Chosen, in terms of the protagonist, Chosen and Johnny were just phenomenal in what they brought to the table in the story, in the characters, their humor and their dedicatedness to the role. It was really great stuff.
It was, and once again, the principal cast, we've got Daniel and Johnny, both fantastic actors. I mean, you can really see them. They love the roles that they play in this, and I think Johnny's kind of progression is probably the most interesting throughout all of the seasons, especially in season 5. It remained just as strong with his relationships, not only with obviously Miguel and with Robbie, but with Carmen as well.
Yeah, I look. Chosen I was really, really happy that they gave so much time to Chosen, to be honest with you, because when he was introduced or reintroduced, we'd obviously had the season where he was in, but then at the end of the last season when he's there and he's like, I'm going to help you get back Miyagi-Do, you kind of thought he might have just been a background character in the season, kind of there. So to see him actually be so prominent in actually trying to get back Miyagi-Do was great, and he was the real deal as well when it came to the karate elements and the training, and even he even would have taken out Silver if he wasn't distracted from in the final fight.
Oh yes.
So they Chosen was given a lot of screen time, a lot of respect, and it was nice to see, because it really cemented his redemption arc, and I there was a few redemption arcs. I mean, Sam, I quite like Sam this season. I haven't liked her for a couple of seasons.
Yes, I remember you saying. Yes.
Yeah, it's just like. But this season, I did. She, when she had that doubt in herself, and because she lost, and then Miyagi-Do shutting down, and she didn't think she'd be doing karate again, and the problems with Miguel. We actually got to see a little bit of a more human Sam this season. Wasn't particularly enamored with the old sensory deprivation thing.
It was like right back to Rey Skywalker.
But I get what it was trying to do. And I did actually like bad Sam fighting Sam sort of business. I thought that was just that, it was janky. Yeah, a little bit cringy.
Cheese,
but I was like, this season to me felt more like a comic than previous seasons. Yeah. It kind of had that more comic element to it. Not as in haha, comic as in physical comic.
Yeah, but they've hit a formula with these seasons now. They know where to go. They know what they're doing with the characters. The characters are well established. for me, the only thing I didn't like, which I actually loved in the previous season, was Silver. I thought he was turned into too much of a mustache-twirling villain in this, and I was a little bit disappointed in him. I was like, okay, we know the guy's an asshole. We know he's bad. Can you give us a little bit more?
I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. I'll just say straight up, I love Terry Silver in this. It was great. You knew, like, in so many shows, like, it's like, you know who you're supposed to hate in this. You're supposed to hate Terry Silver. He is a terrible guy on all facets, and he doesn't even care. He's like, I'm gonna take over because I'm Terry Silver. Screw you all. Whatever, right? I loved every bit of Terry Silver for me.
I would say, like,
great. Yeah, I love Thomas Ian Griffith. I think he plays a fantastic role, but they really died him up to 11 on this one.
No, I love that.
The one part, like at the very end, after they showed the video on the screen, and so the gig was up for him, and he's the part where he's still going at it, like, I've still got control of this, and it was total denial of everything. It's almost like he was an SJW thinking that he's doing everything great. That part was just kind of like, okay, well, you lost the plot to these kids already, so why are you still trying to keep this going? So, I mean, that part took a little bit away, but other than that, I thought that they set him up well, thinking, oh, he's always 2 steps ahead, and we got to figure out how to get to stop that. And so they, right up until the very end, it was a very well done part.
It was.
I love Terry Silver so much.
Yeah,
I want a hot toy of Terry Silver right now.
Dude, absolutely.
You see, last season, I think they did a great job of bringing him back and explaining his behavior, basically on being coked out of his fucking mind.
Yes.
With Daniel, so that was just like pretty funny. And then they, you had him as this like entrepreneur type of person, but
businessman.
He just wanted to get back into it. And the comic element of this series, to me, he just became Ra's al Ghul this season. and then he brought in Lady Shiva, and it was just like, I am all in for this. I am absolutely all in for this.
That's exactly it. He's building this
empire.
empire.
He just put the League of Shadows in, and I was like,
heck yeah, where's the Lazarus pit at?
I like it. I love this.
This is
because Johnny's a bit of a janky character anyway.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a parody of a character.
Yes.
Yeah. And it works for him.
It does.
So why not have some sort of comical villains to sort of marry together with that? Because he's at the end, he's fighting for his unborn child.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yes, come on, Johnny, kick that League of Shadows out. So Terry Silver becoming Ra's al Ghul, to me, because I'm watching the series and I'm thinking, where's his money going? It's going down the toilet.
Nobody's paying.
They're not funding this. So what is this master plan of
He's
his?
charging these kids like $300 a lesson to film.
An hour. Just
it's like, I'm going to open up all these dojos. I'm taking but you're not. Your dues are going down. Let me buy everything. It's like, how are you still like?
Here's a smoothie
most high-tech gear, and it was awesome.
It was fantastic.
I don't want it to change. I don't want it to change at all.
I wanted to bust out of jail and be like, I bought the prison, so they let me out. It's like,
I was gutted that he got arrested at the end.
He's getting out. He's getting out.
I hope he gets out. Yeah.
I think the dojos are his version of a...
Thank you to Leaky for the super sticker. It says spoilers, and you are not wrong. Guys, I know you're sending loads of super chats, so if it's okay with the channel, the chat, and with the panel, what I'll do is I'll just go over them at the end of the show, if that's okay. I'm not ignoring you guys, I promise, but you guys are amazing. So thank you so much.
I just did want to say, speaking of Chosen, for maybe next season stuff, they dropped the Kimiko stuff in there too. So there's that too. That with Chosen was fantastic the whole way through. Yeah. I thought we were gonna lose him, and I was devastated at the end there. It's like, oh no, we can't. He fit right in. We can't lose Chosen. What's happening?
Yeah. No, that was probably the best thing that the show did, was the amount of stakes that they put in the last 4 episodes. I mean,
Yes.
things really started to matter, and you're sitting there thinking, "Wow, they're really going. Something really drastic is going to happen
Mhm.
that we're not expecting." And it felt like that. And I mean, everybody still kind of came through, but it was a really well told story, I thought.
It was, and they managed to kind of break what they usually do. So the formula with the season is it ends on a big tournament. Now they didn't do this this time. This still ends on a big fight, obviously, but the tournament will be the next season, and obviously they're trying to take this global, which is I thought was a really interesting way to do it.
Yeah.
There is one character that we haven't talked about, and the chat brought him up as well, who I thought we were actually going to see more of, and that was Mike Barnes.
I thought he'd come back, but I thought he'd actually come back on the side of Silver. So to have him come back on the side of, everyone else, I was kind of like, okay, that's okay. But he's a decent actor, and I'm sure he's got plenty of stuff that he's on with. So
God,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe he could only afford to do, the time to do these 2 episodes.
Well,
so
I don't know if it was a throwaway line or not, but part of me was wondering if he was going to come back after Silver got arrested because he dropped that we were supposed to be in Cobra Kai 50-50 in his contract that he signed. So I wasn't sure if that was like a throwaway line, and maybe Barnes actually owns 50% of Cobra Kai still, or like,
Yes,
or what happened there. So I wasn't
didn't
sure.
believe for one moment that he doesn't know where that contract is.
I don't know.
Well, the other thing that will be interesting, though, Daniel did tell him that he would make him whole when he told him about how he was leveraged to the hilt on the furniture store.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that line plays out next season as well, because I don't think that Barnes is done with the show.
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if they wanted you to think that him taking the Rembrandt from Silver, because Silver has all the art, and he's a Bond villain too. He's all of them. He's got samurai sword. I don't know. I just bought it because the auctioneer said it was an 80,000-year-old sword.
If you got a limo that big, you just would have stuffed it with all of the stuff from Silver's house, wouldn't you?
Yeah, right. Just load up the whole van.
Silver doesn't mean it when he says that. He doesn't. Silver knows exactly where all these samurai swords have come from.
Oh yes.
I want to give credit to another character. I want to give a credit to Devon. I thought Devon was really good this season.
Yeah.
I liked the fact that she was obviously on the other side last season. She was in Eagle Fang, and then she goes to Cobra Kai, and she's got the option whether or not to leave or to commit to Cobra Kai, and she gets her ass kicked, and then she leaves, and then she comes back to say So I actually really like the little dynamic. I could have done with a little bit more of it.
Yes.
With Devon and Tori, I thought they had a really good kind of dynamic going there, and it's another character which they brought forward this season, and I think she totally deserved it. I think she's a good actress.
Yes.
I like the development of the character. I love a character that falls from grace.
Yes.
And so, you always think there's a potential redemption along the line, and there's been, redemptions there and back. But this season, I think, was more of people kind of falling than being redeemed. As there's traitor inside of Miyagi-Do, and little
traitors
things,
everywhere.
Traitor.
It was very much kind of veering into the almost soap opera at one point, but I am very glad that they kind of dragged it back.
What's the South American, the novellas, whatever they're called?
Novellas,
yeah, he's more of that. Yes, no, I am the person who's been working on the inside.
Yeah, you get the extreme close up on. It's like, oh my god!
But it works. That works with Terry Silver's character. That whole kind of aspect works with Terry Silver's character, because those senseis that he brought in were some of the most ill repute looking motherfuckers I've seen.
My favorite was one with the eye patch.
Long John Silver over there, right now.
Lost that fighting James Bond.
Yeah. I almost lost it when I saw Eye Patch Guys. Like, oh god, we're going full on there, aren't we? Oh
I
my
know
God.
which side
Yeah.
I'm going to kick him from.
Yeah, right. To go into his blind spot, it's like a T-Rex.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, when realistically, you kind of wonder how he's able to do all these blocks when he has no depth perception whatsoever.
he just gets beat up constantly. He's just a punching bag.
This is the power of whatever that, I can't remember what that style was called. That's
The power of the fist.
Yes.
That's it.
Tong Sudo or whatever it was called. I don't know. Yeah, I got you.
Some
And
of those
I
names
love
that
Lady
came up
Shiva. Give me all the Lady Shiva I can muster. She was
even,
great.
She even attacked
She
with
was
her pigtail, with her ponytail there. She had the knife in there. She got one of
Oh.
those in. I was like, yeah. All
Holy
right.
shit, yeah. Yeah, Kim was actually a great character. I wasn't sure if I was going to like her or not, but yeah, she really stepped up and she really reveled in that being a badass.
Yeah. I think she's gonna be. I think next season she's gonna be huge. I think her and Kreese are gonna hook up there somewhere. That's my prediction. We'll see.
I think she's going to be taking over the whole of Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, she's gonna be huge. Yeah,
Yeah, Silver's
I
gonna
agree.
out.
And then, yeah, for the tournament, she's going to be, running them for the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Devin
There'll
was
probably
great.
be some drama between Barnes and Daniel, and then she'll bring Barnes over to help.
There you
know,
go.
help
Barnes
bring
said-
him.
I
With
always
his Rembrandt, carrying his
Yeah.
Rembrandt on his.
It's like a backpack now.
Yeah.
It's just he's got a backpack.
How'd you get that painting
Sword
from?
sticking out the back. Yeah.
He'll pull it out of his pocket, all folded up, saying, "No, I got this from Silver before he got arrested." And it was
On the
Excuse me,
back
what
here.
I'm gonna
My
put on.
contract's on the back here. Yeah.
One of those poor dudes has his pinky cut off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
Man.
and then he got kicked in the head. I'm sure he's not gonna, bleed out or anything.
There's the concussion protocol for the show is all over the place.
Oh my god. Yeah.
What did you guys think of the choreography? Because as the seasons have gone on, I think it's gotten better. It's gotten a lot tighter. Obviously, they've trained much harder, not just the principal cast, but with the outer cast as well. The backup. I thought it was actually really good this season.
I thought it was really good, and then I think with the older actors, they did a good job of sort of masking when the stunt doubles were in there. You couldn't full on tell when some of the stunt doubles took over. I was looking a little bit. It's like,
It was
okay, that's
ropey in the
actually
beginning,
Ralph
yeah.
Macchio there. That's actually I think Chosen did all of it. I don't know. Did he have a stunt double? It looked like Chosen was getting in there, but it was. I liked it quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm so poor about picking that out that I couldn't tell you one way or the other. But I do know that the furniture cost went up this season from all the broken furniture that they had.
Their
I mean,
furniture's
goodness,
made out of balsa wood, for goodness sake.
seriously. Oh man, the people who work for Wheel of Time and Rings of Power would have a fit with how much they'd be having to rebuild stuff.
Oh my god. Yeah. Off the beach.
It's all CGI in Rings of
Oh
Power.
yeah,
So,
yeah, that's true
Right.
too, yeah.
They wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I love the Silver Chosen fight at the end. That was great. I like Silver kicking the shit out of Daniel halfway through the season.
Yeah.
That was great when Daniel was, down and out. Not down and out, but down. He was all over the place.
Yes.
So that was good. It just showed how clinical Terry Silver can be. But I gotta confess, my guilty pleasure fight, my favorite little fight of the season was actually between Tori and Devon for the stick.
Oh yeah.
When she had to get the stick, and it was just, I thought that was choreographed really well. And it obviously escalated as Lady Shiva. I'm just going to call Lady Shiva.
Why not?
Lady Shiva wanted Tori to get more and more aggressive. And I thought they did that really well. So there were some of the great ones.
The Shiva Tori dynamic was I'll just call her Shiva too. Why not? Let's just go with it. That dynamic, her and Tori, I thought were working off each other quite well. It was very believable, and it made fights like that and all their scenes together very, very enjoyable. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the both actresses had they had really good chemistry with each other.
They did.
So I don't know if that I mean, sometimes chemistry just happens, but they really seemed to have they were gelled.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think I was quite compelled to when they had something together.
Agreed.
Yes, and the other character that I thought you talked about some of the characters that were kind of brought forward in this, it was Kenny, who
Mm-hmm.
I've got to admit I didn't like to begin with. I thought he was a bit of a throwaway character, but they really actually gave him a character arc in this season, and he kind of flips back and forth by being, he was the kid who was originally bullied, and then he becomes something else, and then he really does see his potential, and by being pushed to his limits.
I hate Kenny. I think that's what we're supposed to do, but I don't know. I mean, I think he did the actor does a great job. The character is obviously supposed to be the foil to everybody. I don't know. I didn't believe that he had a chance of beating any of the top three in Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. I didn't find that was my biggest complaint about the season was probably the biggest was just Cobra Kai for being this big multi facility dojo and all this. I didn't see any badass karate guys that would beat Robbie, Miguel, or frankly Hawk in a fight. So I don't know that Kenny was doing all the stuff right. He was he had some great scenes, some great actor, good actor. The kid's good on him, and I get the development, but I didn't believe he stood a chance against those big three personally.
No, he's definitely works better as the the foil with the brother, this ongoing rivalry that those two have, and it was kind of touched upon, but it's one of those that doesn't really get resolved. They're constantly butting heads. But the one fight that you guys talked about, the one that he liked, the one that I loved was the one between Miguel and Robbie, where they just beat the shit out of each other just to get it out of their system, because that was actually believable. I can't speak for myself, obviously, as a woman, but it seems like when guys really want to, get something off their chest, that seemed like a believable way to do it.
That's why my brothers are my best friends. We just beat the shit out of each other when it needed to happen.
Yeah, when kids used to kick shit out of each other all the time. I like Kenny. I mean, the character's not particularly likable. Mm-hmm. But I like what they're doing with the character, which is exactly the whole thing. It was because when you first met Kenny, you're like, oh, this is a sweet kid, loves his brother. His brother's in the armed forces. He wants what's best for this kid, and then he goes to school and now, fucking LaRusso kid. Comes along, starts bullying him. So you're like, come on, Kenny, and then he gets to go to Robbie, and you're just like, this is good stuff. Then he becomes the bad guy. Then he becomes the bad guy, and the victim becomes the bully. And once he realizes he has the power over him, then it goes to his head. And so Kenny's arc's quite an interesting one because his brother is clearly like a morally centered person and wants him morally centered. Mm-hmm. So what would his brother think of him doing this sort of thing? I don't think he'd be too impressed. And then at the end of the season, when everything's been revealed and gone down, it's not like Kenny's just like, okay, I did a bad thing. He's kind of conflicted about what's going on and to be determined how Kenny turns out. Mm-hmm. But it's nice. It was nice to see it again. It's one of these things I like to see a character fall, and Kenny was like such a little kid last season. He's grown quite a bit for season 5, and I was just like, when he was together with the other dude, the tall Asian dude, I was like, I could see Kenny being the leader here over this guy, because this guy's just a dude.
He's
complete. I think what he. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say when Silver teaches him the tricks of the trade, and then he uses it on
the silver bullets. I cringe.
Silver bullet,
Oh my god.
There was wasn't it Quicksilver as well?
Quicksilver, yeah. We call it Quicksilver.
Awesome name.
Dude, he's got it on his license plate. Quicksilver. It's like
Quicksilver, yeah. When he teaches him the silver bullet, my suspension of disbelief could be like, because thing with Hawk's great, but Hawk's cocky. He's always cocky. And he clearly went into that fight looking at Kenny thinking, I got this.
Hawk is
yeah.
Hawk is the only one out of the three. I think that I'm glad they put him up against Hawk instead of one of the other two. And his arc was. I think they did exactly. I hate him because they did a good job of making him have that full circle, right? And I do like that they didn't just wrap it up. He's like, "Leave me alone. We'll talk later. I need to figure out what's going on."
Yeah, I think Kenny needs probably another season of development to actually legitimately have that superpowered kind of badass role in the karate world. But they were Cobra Kai was way over pressured in terms of comparison between Miyagi-Do, and so they really didn't stand a chance, at least on the male side of things. But one of the things that I enjoy about that, though, is they're taking their time in developing these characters. So Kenny doesn't immediately have to reach his full potential this season. He can finish that arc next season, or if they do a season 7 or whenever. They've taken their time developing all these characters over the course of these 5 seasons, that it's actually created a much more enjoyable pace for the show to just absolutely bloom in, I think.
I think so, and it seems like this is another character that they're going to set up for a fail. I think he's going to have to crash before he gets that redemption, which is fine because that's what they do with these characters. You go up and down with them throughout the seasons, which works really well. But yeah,
well, if we get a season 6, it'll be interesting to see who are like the villains, since it looks like most of the main Cobra Kai people have gone off from Cobra Kai, including Kenny. So. It'd be interesting to see how they build up that that versus thing, because there's nobody left, right?
At least be a League of Shadows. That's
I'm just gonna call them in from over. You're absolutely right. There it is. They're just calling the ringers. What am I talking about?
Shiva's gonna have to grow a mustache and twirl it.
That's it. Yeah, all the senseis are gonna have to just pretend to be like 17-year-olds, the guy with the eye patch and stuff. Yes.
Like it's a Little League World Series. Yeah. Here we go.
It was a weird way to end it, because obviously they were setting it up for this huge tournament that they were so desperate to beat Miyagi and Do with. They and Silver, being Silver, was cheating as he always does, which I thought got a little bit tired, to be honest. Again, cheating with the referee, and but I'm not sure where this is going to go.
I was just happy to have some black and white hero and villain.
Yes.
I'm so sick of deconstruction of things. I'm so sick of anti-heroes. I just loved having a mustache-twirling villain doing mustache-twirling villain shit for a change.
Absolutely.
Silver should have been sitting there with a cat,
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Probably would have just broken the cat's neck.
It's like, dang it. Yeah. I did laugh. It's like every point he looked over at the ref, he's like, make sure we're cheating.
Yeah, be a little bit more obvious.
It wasn't so.
It's like, good call. It's like okay.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
You're not being subtle at this point, guys. We got it. Yeah, for God's sakes. But it was funny, and it was a great matchup. And again, him with Kenny and with Hawk, when he punches him in the chest and just knocks the wind out of him. That was a great shot.
He just crack. I was like, oh my God, he just smacked his rib cage in half.
Just gone straight through.
I was waiting for fatal.
Yeah.
Oh,
fatality.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been really bad. Huh?
Fatality.
Nice.
There we go.
There we go. I'm going to bring it back for just a little bit, because there were some great scenes, obviously, earlier in the season, in the first couple of episodes. We were talking about that they didn't really spend as much time kind of developing the whole thing with Miguel and his father, but I did really like the Robbie that angle, and I thought the where they're eating spicy peppers, I thought that was a great scene when he just kind of palms it.
Yeah, that had to take in some balls to sit there and do, and then you sit there and get that reveal in the end. And I love they're in the truck or van or whatever on the way back, and he tells him that he palmed it. He's like, well, see, at least we got a good story out of it. I'm like, hell yeah, that's the purpose of this kind of stuff. Good stories.
Well, then
How
the
many people arrive in Mexico though and get done over by some Australians?
Every one of them. It's like
Australians
I
get
was
everywhere.
kind of confused about that bit. Australians are waiting in Mexico to.
It was the weirdest group of guys too. It was the Australian, then some giant other, and then you had the little guy that was the pickpocket. It's just like, when did these guys take over the border and start like being the map police?
Yeah.
What happened?
all those Australian refugees. I mean, that it's just a big group, right?
I reckon they were FBI.
That was a great line though when he says to him, "Do you speak English?" He said Australian, close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah. Well, Johnny don't give a shit, you know. Miguel's
Right.
being polite and nice, and Johnny's just like, "Hey, have you seen this kid here? You know, English? You speak English? Australian? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Close enough."
Chat's saying it was a very diverse group of scammers. You're not
It
wrong.
really was, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel
Johnny's
represented,
saying-
Australians?
Yeah. Johnny's sayings in the season were something special. It's like I don't know who Pandora is, and I don't know what's in her box.
Yeah. Let's put, and then later on he's in the season, he says, let's put Pandora back in a box.
And then he runs into the door. He runs into the car door, gets so drunk.
Yeah.
My favourite was when he was driving them around when he had to do that Uber drop, and she says, "Can you put on some Billie Eilish?" And he puts on, what's it? I can't even remember who the hell he put on. Oh my god!
Oh,
it was-
Billy Idol. Put Billy
Yeah, I
Idol.
know, that's
Not
it,
Billie
yeah.
Eilish. He thought he said Billy Idol, so he's like, yeah.
Pulls out the tape from the glove compartment.
Yeah.
Girls
Oh,
are
yeah.
like, what the hell
Yeah.
is this?
The car stinks. What do you mean the car stinks of beer? It's because it's got beer in it.
and his constant use of hash brown. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bronco.
Oh my god, love it. But he is pretty much, as a character and throughout the season, he is the most consistent of them. I think William Zabka and Ralph Macchio both, they just get it, don't they, with these characters?
Mhm.
It's pretty crazy that Johnny was almost the voice of reason for half the episodes, you know, laying out some great advice until he got pissed drunk, and then he's just like,
Oh my
screw it. He's like, let's go. It's like he's just like, screw it, or let's go kill this guy. It's just like, it's like all
Just
season,
pile into the limo.
he was good. He's giving all his like sage advice. It's like, yeah, actually pretty good. And then he's drunk. It's like, let's go beat the crap out of this guy. I'm done. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like he has all of this actual growth in his personality. Daniel can't communicate, hasn't been able to communicate at all since even the first movie. So like all this strife that he has with his wife every single season, he's a little bit one note in that, and it gets kind of annoying.
Mhm.
And I understand that it's part of how they're creating all the strife that the episode drives off of. But it's like, come on. But then they threw in that
Daniel
line,
operates
he's
off
in Ohio.
structure.
Mhm.
That's what Daniel operates off. He's structured, whereas
Yeah.
Johnny's not structured at all. So Daniel is always expecting things to not go as they naturally should go. I wake up, I have a shower, I have breakfast, I get dressed, I go to work. You know, he's routine and he's structure. And ever since season 1, that's just been completely turned upside down. And so he's trying to still be in that structured mode, but it's out of his control, and he's a control freak. So suddenly when a control freak has that element taken away from him, he doesn't quite know what to do, and he gets himself in these situations. But I liked the way that his wife this season was just like, sort this shit out, all right?
Yeah.
And then by the end of it, she was like, when they were talking, when she was at the end, we're like, who are you? He's like, I'm Daniel. You know, I'm
Karate
Daniel,
adjacent.
You know, from Miyagi
yeah.
Do, and I'm just
I'm a
Meagle fan.
Miyagi-Do
She goes,
adjacent.
karate adjacent.
Yeah, it's good. And she does a little curtsy. She's just like, eh. It's just like,
Yeah, and then like literally in the last episode, well, when Daniel's fighting Silver again, she's just like, "You do what you gotta do."
oh yeah.
Yes.
Because I think she kind of she's more understood Daniel,
Mhm.
and the fact that he couldn't control what he wanted to control.
Well,
It's fun.
I was glad the drama, I guess the fight between Daniel and his wife didn't last too long. It sort of, she took the kids, went and had the the cameo with the movie 3 girl. I don't remember her name. Got some more info about. Yeah, I got some more info about Daniel and all that, and then she's like, oh okay, and then she comes back and they were good. So I liked it didn't last that long because. And it gave her a better idea of how both characters, his wife too, because he had, of course, the gang of angry
but that
Karens,
fight
I
was
guess.
cringe. That was a terrible fight. That was so bad.
What was
that? Was
nickname?
Not one of the best things about the season.
It was like it's like a roving gang of wine moms in the bar. It's like, what is happening here? This is weird.
Right. We just got done with our yellowtail. Let's go kick some ass.
The best part is they just all leg it out of the bar as soon as
I'm Karen and I'm gonna kick your ass.
That's it.
All right. It would have been funny if they just said, "All right, Karen, calm down."
Yeah.
I would have. Then it would have turned it into more of a comedic element. Instead, it was one of those moments you're just like, "Okay, well, I'm glad that scene's over."
Yeah.
So weird. Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Over nothing.
Let's not discuss that any further. Let's move on. Yeah.
It's like, hey, there's a video game on the table. Let's talk, and then you got to fight. It's just like between mom. It's just like, what? Man, weird way to get that scene wrapped up.
It took me halfway through that scene to realize that was the woman from the third movie. I was like, oh, wait a minute. That is her. Oh.
And Ronan Rakatsur says you've obviously never been to happy hour with some stressed women.
I'm just glad that they didn't all start doing this and get ready for, oh no! Even they know karate! No!
They all know karate.
I am from Karen Karate, and I want to speak to your manager.
I just thought it was cringe how after 30 years we still got the Mean Girl group having a go at it. So...
Right.
Oh man, that was.
Yeah. See, I live here in Ohio, and I have yet to see that kind of stuff going on at bars here. So it doesn't happen.
I was going to ask you. Somebody else said that this doesn't represent Ohio. So I thought,
Yeah, not that I am the bar hopper at all, but I still don't see that kind of stuff happening. So it's
no crazy wine moms.
You're not visiting the right bars, man. Come on.
I'm glad that I'm not then.
Find the retro video game bar, and that's the one. Right?
We do have some
just
of those.
The one retro video game stuck in the middle of the floor.
Right in the middle of the bar.
It's like, hey, kid, go play that. You like video games, right? Play that thing. It's like,
well, that was the weird thing because that type of stuff you would see at a Pizza Hut here in the States. You would have the whole place, and you'd have pitchers of Mountain Dew and Pepsi going all over to all these different tables, and then the kids would be crowded around this little stationary Galaga game, and that's all that there was. So I expected it to be happy at Pizza Hut when I saw that thing there.
It's crazy. It's like, what the hell is going on with this?
That was definitely the highlight of the season, wasn't it? Yeah. What was her silly nickname too? I can't remember it. Was it? Oh my god, I don't remember it.
It was bad.
Yeah, it wasn't even worth getting upset over.
Chat. What was the nickname? I don't remember. Oh my goodness.
But it was such a weird season.
Tiffany, I don't know.
It's like Babe Ruth or something like. It's like some baseball thing.
Babe Ruthless. That was it.
Babe Ruthless. There it was.
Yeah.
Babe Ruth. Oh.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. After 30 years, that wasn't a good payoff. Let it go.
To have the scene for her to go off and where she's separate from Daniel, and I'm sure she's looking at the script going, "Well, I guess this is what I get, but okay, we'll go with it."
But she probably could have gone to a bar down the road and done that. You know, she didn't have to go all the way to a high
Or-
to do it.
Or she's just saying, well, at least it's not She-Hulk.
True.
Don't you fucking start me.
That's fighting words. We're gonna have a brawl between the panel.
Oh boy.
Oh my god. But yeah, it was weird, but I can see what you mean. You know, you needed that little bit of conflict because we've had it throughout all the other seasons, but I'm really glad that it didn't drag out. Daniel made a lot of really dumb decisions in this season, yet again. You know, he seems to really want to. It's like in the past he wanted nothing to do with it. He just wanted to get on and have a normal life. And in this one, he's all about the revenge. You know, he wants revenge against what Silver did. And I think somebody brought it up in the chat as well. Daniel never really got over what happened. You know, this deep-seated hatred and fear of Silver.
Well, I think they're trying to parallel it to what the third movie, because the third movie is basically all about you know Daniel revenge against Barnes, right, and being manipulated. So, I mean, that's basically what the season, at least half of it, was Silver just masterfully manipulating Daniel into doing everything incorrectly, wrong, alienating himself from his family, and just almost losing everything, and then submitting. And then he, you know, Silver goes to crush him, right? And he does, actually. I mean, it takes a lot to get him out of his rut.
It really does, yeah. What did you guys think of Kreese? Because Kreese throughout the seasons has been one of my favourite characters. You know, I think he's played a fantastic role, but obviously with him being still behind bars, his role in this was diminished somewhat. But I thought the scenes that he did have, he was really interesting, especially, you know, when he finally gets the upper hand and he becomes sensei in prison.
I think they played a really clever one with Kreese this season, because it looked like we're just going to get a Kreese redemption again, a redemption arc.
Yeah,
and the way that he spoke about, you know, his past and his connection with Silver, and obviously because we'd previously seen how Silver owed him a debt and whatnot, and then we get the Johnny, you know, the fact that he was like Johnny's, you know, kind of like the son I never had sort of thing, and I blew it.
Yes.
And we're getting all of this opening up of Kreese, and it was just like, oh, you know, maybe we're gonna see some. Oh, that he was fucking us all along.
Kreese is such a duplicitous character. It's like, is he messing with us, or is he actually bearing his soul in this?
I loved it when he was messing with us. I loved it.
Well,
Good old
I
Kreese.
guess my question is do you think that that he was playing the extremely long game and he thought that he could outsmart the psychiatrist that first time to get early release? Do you think that was all part of his plan to eventually get out how he did?
I think he's so used to being able to manipulate people. I think his ego thought he could do it first time, and then he had to change gear and be a little bit more sneaky with it. Yeah, I fully
That's what I
think
thought.
Yeah, he could just talk his way out.
Yeah, I think his first time he thought, because she said, you know, I know when I'm being told what I want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that in her. I like the fact that she wasn't dumb.
Yes.
She's like, I see right through you.
Absolutely.
And so he was like, oh, I have to go into the next gear. I'll go into the next gear then.
Yeah,
that was super.
The Jello.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Well, and what I liked it. The way they did the fight scene and changed to young Kreese, obviously because he's becoming an older man, and that stuff. I liked how they sort of set that up. That it didn't feel completely awkward, them shifting to that. At least for me, I thought they did it well enough to still make the scene good.
When they shifted to his younger self?
Yeah, when his younger self.
I like that. I thought that was very clever, because
yeah,
he'd basically gone into that mindset. Right. You know, we'd seen his past. We'd seen, you know, another little clip with him fighting and what I thought was Lady Shiva, little Lady Shiva. Then we had Terry Silver talking afterwards, a nice ascot, and he's like, "Hey, I bought you this," and we got to see that. So it all kind of went back, and we're all talking about Kreese's past. So it just made sense that when he was coming out fighting, he was going to come out fighting as younger Kreese, and it obviously because he is an older actor as well. And you can see when he's walking, he's kind of struggling nowadays to walk as well, which is sad, and I hope
Well-
he's in good health.
I hope so. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
doing a bang up job. Yeah, that's so. I thought I just was interested to see what you guys thought because I thought it was well done. I thought it was great, and they did it well. Just going into the past and then just transitioned right into it. Sorry, Nate.
Yeah. Oh no, you're fine. I think it served a couple of great purposes. In one, what we've already been talking about in terms of the fight, but it also set up that emotional what we perceived anyway as his capitulation eventually through the show, that all of this venturing into the past, just he's like, okay, I've made peace with it, and the whole time he's sitting there saying, screw that, I haven't made peace with jack shit.
Peace is not an option.
Kreese plays the long game with the audience really well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does, yeah. It's probably why he's probably my third favorite character. And I hated him in the films as you're supposed to, but having this kind of progression and just having him, you find out more about his past throughout the seasons. I just think he's a really well written character, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with him next.
Well, what I didn't get to say, I want to say real quick, just about Silver.
Yeah, of course.
It just shows you when Kreese disappears, you can see how much control he actually had over Silver, because Silver just goes freaking banana sandwich.
Yeah.
After Kreese is gone, it's like, wow, Kreese was really
I loved it.
reeling him in. It's just like, all right, the cuffs are off. I'm going full on. All right, let's do it. Right, but I thought that was very good. As soon as Kreese was gone, Silver went freaking full on villain, and it was like, cool. That just shows you how I guess good a manipulator Kreese is. I guess I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but just the effect.
Oh, he's
Kreese
a masterful manipulator. Yeah. Masterful.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, when he's actually talking and when we see the de-aged Johnny, I thought that was fantastic.
Yes.
I was like, holy
really
shit, that looked really,
Yes.
really good. The de-aged Johnny.
Yeah, they got it. The lips was a little off, but it's just like everything. It's like, I can't wait for them to figure out how to do the lips, because it looked so good. I thought it was. I think I was talking to Purple about it. I thought that they recast because it looked so good. I was like, wow.
Well, I actually went, oh.
Yeah.
When it came on, I actually had a legitimate reaction to it, because normally I watch TV shows like this.
Yeah.
And then when it came on, I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
They just miss having reactions like that to TV shows, though. Just something that has an emotional response from you.
Episode
I guarantee
6
you Disney is calling him up
response
asking him
from me.
for.
Yes,
I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Guarantee it that Disney is calling them up saying, "How did you do that?"
Oh, I doubt it.
Yes. What is this
Wait.
writing thing that you do? Yes.
Which was that?
VA somebody like that.
Which one was episode 6? They all melted together for me. Which one was episode 6?
Episode 6 is when Danny went into Mr. Miyagi's bedroom.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
And it was the room he never goes into.
Yep.
I should say Daniel. I shouldn't say Danny. And it's been untouched. It's a time capsule, and it was really well done. I was like,
Right.
Single manly.
Somebody can onions in here. Who's can onions? I shit, I'm on my own.
Yep. Really good.
It was a heart-wrenching one.
Yep.
It's always heart-wrenching when Daniel starts talking about Mr. Miyagi.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we get a Mr. Miyagi bit, it's one of those moments where you just, whatever you're doing, you just like paying attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Paying
It
attention because
is,
he's going to say something very poignant, and it's going to have a poignant piece. And
Yes, and we've seen this throughout this show consistently, because the actor is no longer with us, sadly. They've shown a lot of respect to his character and to him. We've seen him brought in through flashbacks, and it's worked beautifully. And that scene, it really was something special. You can see how much love and respect Daniel has still.
Well, the whole family.
I think, well, you can see how much the creators do.
Mm-hmm.
It absolutely comes through how much respect for all of these characters. But when it, obviously because he's no longer with us, the amount of respect they have for that those Mr. Miyagi moments, and they are few So they are very poignant, and they are, very powerful when they are mentioned. And even when I see the cars in the front, I'm kind of like, oh,
yeah. Who thought Karate Kid had such a powerful effect on me? I would have never thought. If you told me I was looking forward to it when it first came out. I was like, oh, this could be cool to think back about what an effect Karate Kid and how many feelings, how the feels are for that movie. It's crazy. I would have never thought.
Well, if you pick a franchise from the 80s, I don't think Karate Kid would have been in the top 10 that you would have thought would have worked. But
you said you went back in time and you said to yourself, in 35 years, you're going to be watching a TV series about this and you're going to love it. You'd be like,
nah.
Right. Get on about 35 years. He's old.
That's a testimony to the writing staff too, because they're not overusing this stuff, but they're honestly approaching everything of, if they're going to go into a scene and have it try to evoke some emotion, they're all approaching it, it seems, with, okay, how do we earn this? Because we can't sit there and come to the scene without building up to something that actually sits there and says, listen, we've shown this to you as the audience, it's been paid for, and now you're going to have a legitimate emotional feel, rather than sitting there having these pseudo emotional moments like the Harfoot scenes and thinking, oh, well, you're going to have to sit there and evoke some emotion because, this little hobbit here has tears in her eyes. It's like, forget it.
Because it's fake. It's fake emotion. It's fake drama created to say, look at the drama, look at these emotional things, and it doesn't exist. This is why I love this fucking show.
Yes,
because it feels and I know it's taken to the degree, but it feels like real people are sometimes talking to real people.
Yes.
And I just want that. I just want that once in a while. It's just so refreshing.
It feels good to laugh out loud, to have tears, be shocked at something, and just be interested in what's being said on the screen. Just sort of just listening and just being, okay, shush, I'm in this. I need to hear it, right? So it's really nice. It's why the show is so good.
And to have multiple seasons of that, because I was very worried when I heard that it was moving to Netflix, because Netflix does what Netflix does. But I would say, there's been a few wobbles, but across the board, the seasons have remained strong.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It's a very good show. It's a very good show. I mean, like, you sit there and when Silver slices up Chosen's back, and you're just kind of no. Kill almost any other character. Leave Chosen alone, please.
Chosen alone.
I was praying he wasn't dead. I was like, don't take Chosen from me.
And the fact that it was believable, and he could have, like, that was the thing too. It wasn't like he got chopped up and it's like, oh well, he's fine. I thought he might be dead. I was like, no.
I liked it when he comes out the limo and he goes, like, we need to get you to hospital. It's like, it's his only flesh wound. He says, yes, but it's all your flesh.
It's all your flesh. Yeah, it was so good. That was so good. That was such a great moment.
He just walks from the door straight into the back of an ambulance. Like, yes.
Well, and he's Chosen's still half buzzed, so he doesn't feel any of it.
He's half cooked.
He's still half
and I do like the little nod to the Japanese karaoke that they had in the limo. The whole scene where they're sitting there singing, rocking to 80s tunes.
Eye of the Tiger as well. So taking a Rocky thing there.
Yeah, the Top Gun thing when the dream. John. I was like, yes. He had the high five and just like, it's like, yes, I loved it.
Well, and it was her dream. That was a wonderful little twist on that
fantasy.
Play.
Yeah, that was great.
We've got a question from the chat. Great to see you guys. It's We Do Not Sew says, does the panel think they will bring back Pat Morita in the show as a deepfake form?
Never.
No, I think they will only use already filmed pieces from the movies. I don't think they're going to do a Princess fucking Leia.
Please God, no.
He's and have some scene set in 96 or something. No, I think the incredible respect that they have for him, I think they would find that disrespect.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on the head right there.
I think if
agree,
anything, they
Short
end the
Island
show
Dynasty.
maybe. I think they end the show probably in Okinawa with a fade to black that says in loving memory of Pat Moriarty or Moriarty.
Yeah,
Which I think would be a great
absolutely
way.
think so. Yeah,
Um,
they've clearly got too much love for him as an actor to cheapen it with a deep fake. But
Exactly.
great question,
Yes.
thank you guys. And yeah, Roach loved it when the inspector at the terminal yelled Drago.
Drago! That was so good. I was like, wait, what's that actor from? I couldn't figure it out. I recognized that guy immediately, and I couldn't remember where. But
So I recognise him. I couldn't place him either.
he was feeling Eagle Fang, though, man. He was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I get it. It's like, yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, he
Loved it.
wasn't impressed with smoothie bars or whatever other crap they had. Yeah. It's like-
No, it was good that he was kind of, because you saw him when he comes in, you think he's going to be this like quite. They're all going to be aloof,
Yeah.
and it was nice that it was Johnny that he related the most to. And it's like yes,
It's like, yeah. I immediately love that guy now. It's like, yes, all right.
I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't mind seeing Hilary Swank. She's part of the process. She's part of the franchise. So if Hilary Swank turned up, that would be fine for me. I wouldn't have any problems with it at all.
They could work.
Just
around
say
it
no
really
to
easily.
Jaden Smith.
Yeah, not so much there.
How can you have a Karate Kid when he's teaching him Kung Fu? What the fuck was that about?
I forgot
hate
that
that
thing
I
existed.
didn't see it, so
Good.
I won't touch in
Good,
that
it's
film.
terrible.
I blocked it out. Yeah.
And Ushis answered, he's from D2 Mighty Ducks. He played the Iceland coach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
There we go.
I can't
See?
believe it's that far back. Oh my gosh.
What's on chat? Thank you guys.
Man,
I think I wouldn't have any issue with Hilary Swank coming in, because I think one of the things this show has done exceedingly well is it doesn't pander to females and it doesn't pander to males. Everybody has their own stories, their own arcs, and they're believable. And these characters are all, I say believable, obviously, suspension of disbelief, believable. And it doesn't demean anyone to elevate anyone.
Yes.
And I think so if Hillary came in, I think they would treat with again, they would have a proper story for her, the way that she would fit in with the others, and I don't think she would be elevated to put the others down or any of that nonsense. So yeah, I think her being in would I think probably only a benefit to the show, because they're all getting a little crack at the whip here.
You can have an
Yes.
interesting dynamic between her and Daniel, because Daniel obviously wasn't there when Mr. Miyagi was teaching her. So maybe they learned stuff from each other. Maybe she's learned something from Miyagi that he didn't, or like because they were different times. I don't know. There's something there that could be great, like just because they got taught by Mr. Miyagi at different times. Separately.
Yeah, somebody said Hilary Swank could come in to deal with the Lady Shiva.
There you go.
That would be good.
Oh, yeah.
But I would ultimately like to see I'd like to see Tori and what's Majiggy?
Devin.
Devin.
Yeah.
I would like to see Tori and Devin take her down properly together, because
I know how she.
I think
love
that's a good idea though.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
I love how she's Lady Shiva now. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's it. That's all she's
Perfect.
going to be known as.
She's great. She was great. I loved her from the moment she
was a
came off the
fantastic
plane.
Character. Yes.
I was just like, I like this egg. I like it. I like this one.
Just like how they all pile off the plane and she's the last one off. It's like, yes, okay, this is awesome.
Oh, she is the last one. She deserves to be the last one. This is a bot. This is a legit boss coming off here now.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys mind if I catch up with these incredible super chats? Because everybody is
Absolutely.
doing amazing so far. You guys, thank you, chat. So we had, let me grab this one from Zax. Great to see you, Zax. He says, only on episode 5, so got to bail. You all have a great show. Thank you, Zax. I hope you're having fun with it. It is good, and it didn't feel like it was 10 episodes. I mean, the episodes are 35 to 40 minutes, but they flow really well.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I went from one episode to another several times and didn't even realize it. So
I did, yeah. I think I did it in like 2 blocks over the weekend. Jerky.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started it thinking, okay, I'm only going to do 2 episodes tonight, and then I'll watch some of it tomorrow, and then the next day. And all of a sudden, it's 1:00 in the morning, and my wife's like, "Would you come to bed, please?" I'm like, no, okay.
Can't watch Cobra Kai.
Shiva just got off the plane.
Watching fucking karate.
Right. Well, and then I woke up at 6 in the morning. I'm like, well, I'm up. Yeah, I'll finish watching the season.
There you go.
I love it. Afanon, great to see you, and thank you so much. Sends us $9.99 super chat. Really enjoyed season 5. What a breath of fresh air. And as you get a break from the horrible train wreck that is She-Hulk, thanks for the great discussion. Well, thank you, sweetheart. Great to see you.
Well, not until today. Today I didn't get
No, it's a thing. It's a hell of a thing. But great review, by the way. Well done. Persevering with it. I'm very proud of you too. That's crazy.
It takes a lot.
Yeah.
Salty Texas Steve, thank you so much. He sends us another super sticker, and it is a slice of pie. Thank you, Salty. Really appreciate that. We've got Rod Thunderhard, who sends us 10 Canadian. Thank you so much. He says, "Hail, Purple Valkyrie, Man of Manetheren, Prophet of the Dragon, and As. Seen whole of season 5 twice and loved it. Now I'm depressed, waiting for another year. Purple, got Arwen's address now. Need yours to send you a copy of See True Love. I will DM you, sweetheart. Thank you so much." That was one of the things, and thank you for bringing that up, that I wanted to talk to you guys about. As at the beginning of the year, we talked about Cobra Kai because that's when they released the other season. It was around Christmas time. Do you think that they made a mistake releasing it in September rather than in December, when is the traditional time for them to drop it?
No, because I liked it.
No, fair enough.
Great answer. Perfect.
I know. Look. I needed this. I needed to watch something fun.
Yeah.
Something that is going to be fun as well. Like you know Cobra Kai's coming, and you just have that little giddiness about you. So when it dropped, I mean, the sooner they can come out, the better. But don't scrimp on the quality, because the quality's been really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very grateful for it, and it put a good smile on my face. So I'll take it now. Thank you.
Remember that.
Just give it me. Just take it. Absolutely. I liked it. I was just surprised. It seemed like, obviously they usually have a set time. It releases around about Christmas time in December, and they brought it forward a few months, and that's fine. That's great. But
great for us, right?
Yeah, it just kind of threw me a little bit. That was all.
It's one of the few shows that you're just like, you're happy. It's like, oh yes, it's coming. I'm ready for it.
They saw She-Hulk was on and was like, fuck, people need help.
Yeah, between that and Rings of Prime, I mean, it's just been it's a freaking dearth of entertainment, and to have something like this, it does give you a nice palate cleanser, a little bit of, I've just been told a good story for the first time since who knows when, in fantasy or in any type of movie setting. It just feels good to get done with it. I have the similar kind of feeling finished watching this show that I did when I walked out of the theaters after watching Top Gun Maverick.
Oh,
great movie.
That was a good feeling.
Yeah, just 80s fantasticness. It's like this is great. Who'd have thought it? But I loved it. I think it's great that we've got another season. I'm really keeping my fingers crossed, and I think we are going to get at least season 6, if not season 7. But it just threw me a little bit. I wasn't expecting it, but it was a welcome surprise. Shanabog, great to see you. Says the theory of Silver is dying makes so much sense. Do you think he's doing this to build a legacy? Do you think he's about to croak as the character, or do you think he's just doing it because of ego and he just wants Cobra Kai to take over?
I think it's just
ego.
Personally, think it's just ego driven, which I love. Just keep the ego going up. I don't want to feel sentimental towards Silver, just like all of a sudden go, well, I'm dying, so I just want him to be ego driven, just crazy. I want the world in my hands. Just that's a pure motivation. I hope.
You're wrong. He's fucking mental.
And we love him for it.
I
love him.
I loved every bit of it. I want to hug
Some people
that
just
man.
want to watch
I
the
want to
world
hug that
burn.
man and say thank you, Terry Silver. Thank you for making me believe in actual villains again.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for being such a
Now
bastard.
don't
Thank
kick
you.
my head in, please.
And he's intimidating as well. I never
did a
felt it with
great
Kreese,
job.
but with Silver, because he's so big, he just towers
He's
over
tall.
everybody.
Yeah, he's huge. Yeah.
Oh, he's
Great.
big. Yeah, big.
Great
tall man.
character, great actor. I loved him. I gotta admit, I liked him better in the previous season, but that's okay. We can disagree.
No, you can have
Yeah.
strawberry flavored cheesecake, and then you can have key lime pie. So you've got a version, and then you've got a kind of a slightly different version.
Agreed.
So,
I think he probably got back on cocaine.
Somebody said that in the chat. Yeah, do
Wouldn't
you
be
think that that's
surprised.
the case? Yeah, just don't do it.
I want to know what happened to his fucking missus.
Right.
Did he just
Completely
go,
forgot
"Oi,
about
do
her.
one. You do one."
She's probably in the wine cellar, for all these expensive bottles of wine.
What? Just drinking them though.
Yes.
Right.
Just.
Like he loves karate more than he loves me. Gold.
By the way, I want his house. By the way, because his house was gorgeous.
It was, yeah.
Was. Or every house gets wrecked in these shows.
It's missing a Rembrandt now.
I know. How did the LaRusso house get fixed up so quickly? That's what I want to know.
Hey, he's
Who's
got
the
a
contractor
successful
they
car
hired?
business. He's got
There
some
you
dough. He's got some dough. Ray Mia's Dan and Daniel LaRusso.
He's
I
kicking
like
the
that
prices.
they actually had to mention, you guys have got jobs, you have to go back to the car dealership at some point.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, they're planning. There's like, I want to buy a car. Is that too much of a hassle? It's like,
Well, I think that's why they brought the brothers, the brother back and stuff, is to show that they're running the show, they're running the car business while these guys are kicking each other in the face.
I just want to say a huge thank you again to Salty Texas. He sends us a super sticker and it is a burger. Thank you. Really appreciate that, love. And from Incognito, great to see you. He says, Chosen stole season 5 as you magnificent beast.
Pretty much.
There you go. He doesn't deny it.
true and true. Yeah,
Chosen was great. He was awesome. It's like, I don't want to, it's like Sophie's Choice. I don't want to go. I'm so glad with what they gave to Chosen. Really glad with what they gave to Chosen. But Terry Silver's just like great. And like
It's
I said, Devon and Tori I thought they had a great little thing there.
They did, yeah.
It's a shame that they didn't do more with Miguel.
Yeah, do you
but I think
that's
Miguel's
because
going to
the
get a big
actors-
season next season with
Yeah.
the worldwide tournament because he's going to come out on
So.
top of the world.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't won the All Valley, has he?
No, he won the first one.
Yeah,
Did
the
he win
first
the
season.
first All Valley?
Robbie,
Okay.
yeah, Robbie's been runner up twice.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, but ooh. So does Robbie get his day?
I don't know. It's right. Well, that's why it's great because you got,
Ooh.
you think it's going to be one or the other. Who know? And it could be either, and both would be pretty satisfying. So, I don't know. It could be very, very interesting.
It could be both of them in the final.
It could
Yes.
again. Yeah,
Again,
it could be.
yes.
Ooh! Oh, sorry, I'm fantasy booking already.
Look
Well,
at
and
you,
it's also
you
it's different-
speculating.
Well, it's also would be cool because they're on good terms now, so it'd be a completely different contrast to their first
Yes.
fight where they hated each other.
Mhm.
So that could be awesome. I hope
'Cause
that's what they do.
The anger would be gone and it would just be skill.
Karate.
There would just be, going on there.
That could
Yeah.
be great.
And Fixer, great to see you. Good evening. He says, I feel the season 5 ending was a bit rushed. Do you think it kind of came together a little bit too quick, or do you think it works?
I think it worked
There
great.
was a lot of loose
Yeah.
ends to tie up. I really did like the part with Kreese. That was great.
Loose ends lead to new seasons, though.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's why you've kind of all, unless you're saying this is the final season, this
Right.
is where you've got to have a couple of loose ends because you're saying if we get renewed, then we can go here and we can go there.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised they didn't do what they did sooner. So I thought the last couple of episodes came together pretty well.
Yeah,
I did
I
too.
thought she was
Before
going to lose the
long-
baby.
yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
yeah. I was so glad that they didn't do that.
So am I. Yeah, that would have. Yeah.
I don't know. I felt so good about Johnny's family unit. Just you got Robbie, you got Miguel, you got I don't know why I keep forgetting her name, but
Carmen. Yes.
Carmen. There you go.
Carmen, yeah.
And now the baby, just like I almost have one a little bit of a time jump. So they have the baby, and the boys are taking care of them together, and they're like more brotherly and stuff. I don't know. That could be
I loved
interesting
it
too.
when he locked them in the apartment together, tried to get them in that escape room, trying to get them to work together.
He's got the Coors saloon doors.
The grandma just opens the front door and Miguel just walks out.
Like, don't shut the door. Oh,
Ah,
In the next episode, he's there trying to scrape the glue off the window to get out.
yeah, it's like you're gonna have to open it yourself.
Just some of the throwaway scenes were some of the best in this.
yeah.
It was just fantastic.
So good.
We have got Adez. Great to see you. Warm welcome. He says you can thank Az for me jumping in the stream. Love all his content, and if he's here, it must be good. Here's to a great stream. Well, thank you so much. Well, if you like Az and you like Nathan, you like Steve, you have excellent taste. So great to have you. Thank you. Before we start to kind of wind down, what do you guys think? You were speculating anyway, so what do you think we're going to see in the next season? Because I think it's pretty much a given that we will get another one.
You want to go first, Nate?
Sure.
You're on top, big boy.
ladies.
That's right. I think they're going international.
More on top than you.
International tournament. So we're gonna get a scene in Japan somewhere, Kyoto or in Okinawa, having that big tournament that they have, and I think it'll be pretty interesting to see how that all develops. I don't know that they'll bring back Hilary Swank. I think that'll be too large of a bunch of headliners for the show, but I think that they'll end up over there doing the tournament, and how that ends out, whether that takes 1 season or 2 seasons to beat the new mustache twirling chick, Shiva. I don't know, but all I know is that I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. I would agree with that. I think that that's pretty much the only direction they can take it. I really want to see, obviously they did the tournament side, but I want to see what Steve was talking about. I want to see the family progression. I want to see Johnny step up and be the father that he wasn't before and learn from mistakes. I think that would be a fantastic addition as well.
Well, and somebody in your chat says, I want to see Kimiko come stateside and
yes,
Chosen and her make a Chosen baby. That'd be crazy.
The chosen one, yes.
The chosen one, yes. God.
And Eldritch Lord Hasta, great to see you. Thank you, love. He sends us a super sticker, and it's Shiba Inu with the hearts. Thank you. Really appreciate that. You guys are amazing. What about you, Az? What are you speculating? What do you think we're going to get next?
Well, we got to have the worldwide tournament. I think that will be the main focus on the season, and if season 6 is going to be the final season, which would be sad, but all good things must come to an end. Then I think the focus should really be on Miguel and Robbie and Tori and Sam, just getting themselves the best that they can be. Johnny accepting a role as a new father. Daniel getting his life pretty much back together. And the Kreese thing, maybe Kreese, let's just play devil's advocate. Maybe Kreese got out of prison because he didn't think he was gonna get out, just so he could actually go to Johnny and make amends. And then maybe he gives himself up. Maybe we don't get Kreese or too much of Kreese and too much of Silver. I wouldn't mind. I like I said, I would be really happy to bring Hilary Swank in for the final season. And maybe she's the one that while they're getting ready for the tournament, she's the one that deals with Lady Shiva and the whatever Cobra Kai is going to be now, because Cobra Kai never dies, motherfucker.
No, they just walk out.
Yeah, they just quit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, all I know is that it's going to be, it's probably going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
don't forget your Dr. Bull's fresh bollocks.
Somebody mentioned that, yeah.
Especially when you're doing your karate.
Yeah, and Steve, I want to jump in here. By the one of the best lines of the whole episodes were sliding that piece of paper over, and it says "No mercy, motherfucker."
No mercy, motherfucker. Yeah,
So good.
So awesome.
And it took you at that time. I was like, oh, but then when you realize Kreese was just a shithead all along, you're like, okay, gotcha, bitch.
There it is.
We've got Salty Texas C. Thank you so much. He says, truly, thank you for sharing your love of a good story show. It's all too rare these days. Toxic fandom? Nay, just a discerning one. Hail. Thank you. Well said. Thank you, Salty. Really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have got from Adez for $10. Thank you so much. He says, Dr. Balls ass.
Dr. Balls.
Don't leave home without it. There you go.
Thank you, guys.
It really smells good, though. That's the
Dare I ask what it smells of?
I don't know if you want to know.
Well, if it's moisturizer. That's right. It's kind of like sort of lavendery.
Ooh.
Why would you want your balls to smell of lavender?
Why not?
Well, I ain't gonna be the one sniffing them, darling.
Lady.
I'm just glad it's not a mix between Disney World and Michael Jackson.
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna eat a little bit of fucking moisturizer.
I thought you were gonna eat it for. You're like, ooh.
Yeah,
No,
it does smell nice. I will. Yeah, it smells good.
Jack T, it's great to see you and good evening. It says, please remember, stingrays see better in the dark. No matter how many times they use this character, I just do not like Stingray. Is anybody else?
No, I don't gravitate towards Stingray. No, sorry.
It could be.
I hope they're done with that arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty much done with him as a character, but it was nice, I suppose, to see him get some sort of redemption and sort of try and make amends. You know,
I didn't care in the first place. So.
Enough that he can now disappear without anybody going, "What happened to Stingray?" It's now like, okay, we know what happened to Stingray. He could go.
Actually, hope he gave Johnny his car back as well.
Yeah, I'd like to see just Johnny driving it next season. No explanation.
Yeah, he just has it. He just took it. Yeah, absolutely.
Beat the shit out of him.
That's totally Johnny. I could see Johnny doing that. It's just like, hey, my car. All right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
What do you do with the van? He's just like, I did. It's mine now.
And thank you again to Des. He says, thanks, Az. Well, thank you. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome.
Thank you for being so generous.
Always. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. What I usually do when we do these sort of review shows is I ask my panel, could you give this season a score out of 10? So, what do you guys think?
I hate giving scores, but I'd say like 8 or 9. I can't. I'm all over the place when I give point scales. So, but 8 or 9, it was really enjoyable. It's definitely towards the top tier, but.
Sorry.
What did I do?
I need to start produce on my computer.
Uh-oh.
Note to self, never ask Steve to do scores again.
I can't do it. It's just like it's all over the place. It's like, but 8 or 9, it's up there.
It's up there.
I give it a solid yes.
Right. The show's been consistently probably in the 7 to 8 range in terms of the entertainment value, and this one, like I said, if season 1 was like the top of the show, which I'm sort of there. I thought season 3 was actually really good too. I think 5 right now, just fresh off of it. To be honest, though, it's got to be an 8 to a 9. 8.5, somewhere around there. It's just a really good season.
Yeah, I would be inclined to agree with that. I usually don't like to give half numbers, but I can't quite give it a 9. but I would give it an 8.5 because I think an 8 is too low. But I thought it was a great season, and there was a little wobbles, but some of the the standout scenes, choreography was great, music was great. The episode that Az talked about, it's episode 6, really did hit you in the feels, and I really like what they did with the characters, especially Johnny, with him having to grow up and try to be a better person and getting a second shot at being a dad.
I give this an exceedingly solid 8. It was really good, really good fun. A couple little janks, fine, whatever. And for what the show is, which is a show about karate in the valley, I think this is incredible how much they've actually got out of it. And I really enjoyed season 4, and I think season 5 maybe not quite as good as season 4 for me, but a solid 8 is good. That's a real solid 8, and I think we could hopefully. I don't want next season to be the end, but if it is, I really want it to end on a big high.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about this is you can watch right from 1 through 5 and be happy through the whole thing. They're all excellent. Whether the levels of 8, 9, 7, whatever ones, they're all good enough. They're all very strong in their own different ways. You can watch 1 through 5 and be a happy camper after. At least I can.
Agreed. And you talked about it in earlier. They are a very easy watch. You can just kind of breeze through most of these seasons quite easily, and you don't even realize that you're jumping from episode to episode because they're not overly long, and they flow very well.
They flow very well.
And Adair's great to see. Thank you once more. He says it's better when Az dumps it all over his face. Hilarious, making me laugh so hard over here.
Ladies.
Or fellas?
Context, Az? What?
There might have been moments where Dr. Balls just got, like.
See, I read it wrong as takes a dump all over his face. I was like, whoa, what happened?
Oh, that's.
I ever seen a man eat his. You ever seen a man with ate his own ass or something? But you haven't seen
This
everything.
screen just went places.
And Spike and Madness, you are absolutely right. Chosen was an absolute treasure this season. Absolutely. Could not agree more. Probably my favourite ad for this. And I thought he was when we saw him at the end of season 4 when he's standing by the graveside and just says,
It's good to see him in full flow now.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody mentioned it, I think, earlier on quite a bit. Is he going to be the new kind of Mr. Miyagi? Is that the role he's going to step into? I don't think it is. I think he's going to be, somebody who will always be an ally, but I don't think they would ever try to replace Mr. Miyagi.
He's
because
chosen.
It's so important.
Exactly, he's chosen.
They each have their own. They don't need to step into another character's role. They're all their own defined characters, and Mr. Miyagi was a defined character through the films, and that's what they're playing with, and that is great because he was such a wonderful mentor, and yeah, I think if you try and slip into those roles, you can make mistakes. Chosen's basically the muscle. That's technically what Chosen is. He's the muscle because I think he's a better fighter than both Johnny and Danny and Daniel.
He is, and he's willing to do things that neither of them would do.
Well, he took out Silver in he was drunk off Long Island iced teas, man. He was in
Short Island iced teas.
Short Island, sorry, Short Island. My bad. Sorry, I forgot. But
Sorry.
I love this show. The show's got great little bits that you just giggle at,
It is, and I love getting to talk about it. We talk about so many shows, and they really don't kind of live up to the hype, or it's a chore to talk about. But whenever I get to talk Cobra Kai, especially with a panel like this, it's a blast. It's so much fun to talk about. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. before we wrap up and let everybody get on with the rest of their Thursday, what have you guys got coming up? Because I know you're all very busy.
Well, I have a live watch of the Rings of Power that I'm really excited about. Because I get to hang out with my friends. That's why.
There you go.
It has nothing to do with the damn show. But that's tonight live on Salty Texas Seas channel. And outside of that, I don't have anything immediately on the plate, but I appreciate you sending the invite along to me, Purple. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, you're welcome, and love finding out that people are fans of the show, and it was my honor to get to have you guys on. What about you, Steve? What have you got coming up?
Well, I will be on that live stream probably, hopefully, if I survive work. But I got that, and then it's got some things brewing for maybe some video game stuff with Corporeal Lifeform, and just delving into the fantasy Cosmere stuff. Gonna probably have some more Cosmere, and of course Wheel of Time stuff brewing. So a lot going on. So hopefully I can find time to get it all in and out onto YouTube.
Absolutely. And I know as you've been busy already this morning, you've got your review out. You've got anything else coming out today or tomorrow?
Probably not today, but tomorrow, Rings of Power review, and also Friday Night Tights, where we will be going through the Rings of Power and She-Hulk and all that kind of jazz. So the Rings of Power review will be on my channel. Friday Night Tights going to be on Nerdrotic's channel.
Nice.
And then hopefully Saturday, I'm going to go into therapy.
Yeah, we're probably going to need it. Yeah, good on you.
It's a struggle session, you referred to it as.
Yeah, pretty much, because it's a struggle to get through the fucking shows.
It's a hell of a thing.
Yeah,
but it is a lot of fun to do it as a group, so I absolutely agree with that.
These terrible shows are making the good shows that much better. It really is amazing.
That's the truth.
That is the truth. Guys, let me say thank you to Heel vs Babyface. Thank you to Man of Manetheren. Thank you to ProphetOfTheDragon. You guys are incredible. And a huge thank you to the chat. You guys were absolutely on fire today. We had a lot of new faces, so warm welcome. Hope you guys had fun. And a huge thank you to everybody who sent super chats, who sent super stickers. You guys are amazing. And a huge thank you to the mods as well for putting those links out. If you liked what these guys were saying, please check them out. All of them have incredible channels, and I'm very lucky to get to work with them. I will hopefully be back, if not tomorrow, then Saturday. We'll have a stream coming up, and I will be back on Sunday. I've got another Purple Valkyrie Welcomes guest interview coming up, so lots more stuff coming. It's going to be a good one. Guys, thank you again for indulging me and talking Cobra Kai. Had an absolute blast.
Thank you for having me. It was fantastic.
Yeah, great time.
It was fantastic, and we've got people talking, saying great stream. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. You have a great one as well, and we will see you all very soon. What I'm going to do is I will leave you guys with the outro, our membership outro, which I'm very happy to have. So everyone, take care. We will see you again very soon, and thank you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.